Hello and welcome back to another episode of Mechabellum. I am Hazefest, and this is going to be a review of a game that I did previously I thought was interesting. I'm up against Supersonic. We're in about 1370 MMR. He's going to go for the Elite Specialist, and I am going to go for the Fire Badger Specialist. Okay, I start with Sabertooth and Crawlers, and I immediately pick up 2 Arc Lights to complement my Sabers. We're up against Sledgehammer, Arc Lights, and I don't know what he's going to do next. He is an Elite Spec, so whatever he gets next will be level 2. Hope you guys are having a good day. Let's see here. The opponent is contemplating on what he wants to do next. We'll speed it up a little bit. And he finally decides to grab the level 2 Crawlers. Let's speed this up. All right, round 1. Looks like it's going to be pretty difficult since the level 2 Crawlers take a couple shots from the Arc Lights, and he is immediately going for my tower on the left. I will be getting debuffed this round. And it's not looking too good for us. Get the debuff and my Saber goes down. Arc Lights are trying their best to DPS on the right, and it's just not happening. So it looks like it will be a very big win for our opponent on round 1. Second debuff comes in, and he's going to mop the floor with my remaining units. Round 1 goes to our opponent. Round 2. We get some unit reinforcements. Opponent goes for Phoenix. Steel Ball's pretty good. I also go for the Phoenix. I decided to put my Phoenix right up on the front line. I grab 2 more Arc Lights. Throw an additional one on my other side of my Saber to give it just a little bit more chaff clear against these level 2 Crawlers. And then I level up my tower on the left, and I put my Arc Light a little farther back. The opponent puts a missile out in front of his Crawlers. I guess he's expecting me to defend my tower here. I put my Arc Light pretty far back because I don't want it to grab aggro from all of these units. I just want the Arc Light to take out these pesky Crawlers coming in. Opponent goes for a level 2 Wasp here, which is something I was not expecting. In fact, I was pretty thrown aback by this. There's no way I beat this with just the only thing shooting air is my Phoenix, and they're way too far forward to deal with these Wasps effectively. On the left, we do stop the Crawlers from coming in, taking the tower, but we get absolutely crushed this round. And I'm thinking to myself, well, what do I need to do here? My Fire Badgers come out on round 3. And we get more reinforcements here. Intensive Training shows up, as well as Subsidized Arc Light. I was looking at Subsidized Arc Light thinking maybe, but I end up taking the Intensive Training here, I believe. My opponent also picks up Intensive Training. I'm still debating between Intensive and Arc Lights here. I end up going Intensive Training. Opponent picks up level 2 Sledgehammers, and then he promotes the Sledgehammers here to level 2 as well. So he's got a large force of level 2 units here. I sell out of my Phoenix, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do here. I decide to go Elite Recruit, and then I undo that. I decide I'm going to go for Mustangs, since I have the Intensive Training. I grabbed 2 sets of level 1 Mustangs. I level one of them to level 2 with intensive. I put them on the right side to kind of help deal with these wasps. I put them in line with the tower in case there's anything that spawns behind us. I did not expect these 2 sledgehammers to be level 2 here. That's pretty tough. I ended up putting my fire badgers on the back side here to try to take the tower. And we'll see if that works out for me. Alright. I throw a tower missile down to help try to fend off these wasps once they get a little closer. I think they ultimately take out the crawlers, though. Very ineffective missile. Takes out 2 crawlers. We win on the flank, where the fire badgers are. And these level 2 Mustangs are absolutely chewing through the right side here, which is what we needed. We end up taking the tower with our flank. And these level 2 Mustangs are drilling through the enemy forces. He leveled his tower. No, he didn't. Thought he did. We only got 2 Mustangs shooting at it. Alright, round 3 goes to us. Finally, we strike back. More reinforcements come down. We got laser sights, which my opponent takes. And I'm looking at fortified Mustang pretty heavily here, but I think I decided to not do that. I instead go for the laser sights. My 2 frontline Sabertooth level here. My Mustang grabs level, so I go ahead and level him to level 3. The opponent puts down level 2 sledgehammers and a wasp to deal with this fire badger play here. He ends up picking up another set of sledgehammers in the front line. I end up taking range on the Mustangs. Opponent puts another missile down to help deal with the chaff. I sell out of the fire badgers on the left because I knew that he was going to try to stop that. So it looks like he overcommitted here, and he jump drived the wasps over to deal with the flank, which also gets them away from my Mustangs. I grab another Sabertooth and some crawlers. I put the Sabertooth near the front line by the arc lights, just a little further back. That way it doesn't run ahead and get collapsed on by all this stuff. Alright. Missile comes out, hits my units, destroys my arc light. That's sad. These level 3 Mustangs are starting to do some work here. The new Sabertooth gets blasted. Some wasps go after my tower. And these level 3 Mustangs are drilling through all of the units. We go after the tower with our crawlers. We do get the debuff, and these Mustangs are taking out all the air forces. This leveled tower is holding these 4 wasps. And it looks like we will take this round pretty easily. All he's got is sabers or sledgehammers left. And these Mustangs drill through the air units, and they cut down the rest of these tanks with this saber. Pretty good round for us. Round 5. More unit drops come out. And my opponent goes for the Stormcallers here. I'm not convinced that Stormcallers are the answer, even though they would be good into the sledgehammers. I'm looking at Scorpion here. Void Eye would also be a good pick against this ground-based board. And I take my time here, trying to figure out what I want to do. Opponent decides to pick up more stuff. I get the Fangs, level 4 Fangs here. I decide to put them in front of my Sabertooth so they don't get immediately locked on by some of the trash. Opponent moves up for a snipe on my tower. I put some of the level 4 Fangs behind my leveled tower here, thinking that if the wasps are coming after my tower, I should probably put some anti-air here. And these level 4 fangs, I give them range. Since they're on the front lines here, I figured the range would help them do DPS since they're one of my higher level units on the board. My high level Mustang gets another level. In fact, both my Mustang packs level here. I realize this, and I decide to level up both of my Mustangs, and I give range to my arc lights. Actually, I don't give range to the arc lights. I give range to the fangs. I level my Mustangs. I was doing some undo shenanigans here. And I grab more crawlers because I want to get those unit deployments out. Opponent puts missiles on the front line, destroy some of my fangs, and these stormcallers are raining down hell on us. Left side tower is defended. We're got the arc light to take out the ground forces, and we got these fangs to take out these wasp units. And it looks pretty close here on the left, but the fangs do hold and take out all of the wasps before they can take our tower. Our tower is at like 10%. Stormcallers are doing a lot of damage to the ground forces here. We take another tower. These level 4 Mustangs are drilling through the back line. I don't know if we can take this round. We are losing a lot of forces, and all we have left is our Mustangs. And that is a lot of fat to chew through for the Mustangs. All the Stormcallers are down. It's just tanks left, and there's no way we can beat this. They get our tower, finally. And our Mustang group is going to be shut down here. Opponent strikes back on round 5, taking me down to 2,800. Alrighty. Reinforcement rounds. We get... I pick up the redeployment here. My opponent does the same. Not really good choices there for us. My Mustangs hit level 5 that last round, which is awesome. I level up these fangs on the left to level 5 because they actually took out those wasps. I give range finally to my arc lights. I redeploy my Mustangs that were lower level to the left side to help with the air and defending that tower. I level up my Mustangs on the right to level 6. Opponent decides to get Wraith with armor here. That's going to be a problem for me. I try to go Hacker here. And then I think to myself, I can't get range, so there's no point in going Hacker just yet. But I do keep it unlocked for later levels, or for later rounds. Opponent decides to move the crawlers over to the right side and try to brute force his way to my right side tower. I pick up 2 more crawlers and disperse them throughout my board. Speed up the timer here. I also go range and speed. Alright, the round starts. We got long range fangs shooting at his stuff. My level 6 Mustangs are locked onto this armor wraith. And at this point I'm thinking, oh god, armor wraith, what am I going to do? But these Mustangs are doing such good DPS, and the left side with the collapsing of these Mustangs coming over here, drilling this other left side, doing lots and lots of damage while they focus on my tanks. Super good. These Mustangs over here, absolutely chewing through the front line. We kill both armored wraiths. We get the tower, and we should be able to just blast through the rest of his board. Which we do. Take our opponent down to 3,000 life. Round 7, we get some more item reinforcements. My opponent goes for the nano repair kit, and he decides to slap that on one of his armored wraith. I also go for the nano repair kit. I level up my Sabertooth to level 3 on the front line, and I give a nano repair kit to my Sabertooth on the front. I decided to put it on the one on the right because it has better stats as far as damage. So I figured if it's going to last longer and do more damage, I'll put it on that one. Since these units kind of get destroyed by all these level 3 units here. My Mustang hits level 7. I still have 2 unit deployments, and so does my opponent. Opponent decides to go range and mechanical rage on his sledgehammers. He picks up 1 defense and attack enhancement from the tower, and then he decides to go sticky oil bomb right on top of my units. I also rocking 1 attack, 1 defense enhancement from the tower. I now go to level 2 attack enhancement to try to help counter the armor. I did not expect him to have the nano repair kit on one of these wraiths, but it's going to be even harder to blast through that with my Mustangs now. Mustangs on the left hit level 3. I grab additional fangs since they have longer range, and I put them on the front line as chaff. Alright. I also pick up missile interceptors on my tanks to help deal with these rockets coming in from the Stormcallers, help minimize that damage. And the Mustangs are just plowing through the right side of the board. Tanks are staying alive a lot longer now. This is the healing tank on the front line, so it's going to absorb a lot of damage and tank hits for these Mustangs coming in. That is a lot of units on the left, and they're going after my tower. I can't stop them. Hopefully these Mustangs can take out these Stormcallers because they're locked onto my big saber-tooth tank on the right here. That nano module is keeping it alive. It's died twice over already. And all that's left is these Mustangs versus all of these tiny little tanks. The big saber-tooth is coming in. We got 9 tanks, 9 sledgehammers versus 1 saber. My tank is holding fast. It's out healing the damage that they're putting out, even with the mechanical rage. And look at this. Saber is just absolutely clipping these guys. And we survive the round. They can no longer out-damage my heal. And that was even through a tower debuff. Alright, opponent goes for a huge electromagnetic blast here. I decided to take the enhancement module. Mustangs pick up another level. They are now level 8. I level up these fangs and then I sell them as my opponent stopped pressuring my left side tower, so I decided to get the money from those high level fangs. They were level 7 or level 6 rather. And then I put the module on, let's see here, I leveled the Mustangs to 8. I put the module on my backline Mustangs back here and I level them. And then I get aerial specialization as well for my Mustangs to help deal with these air threats. I figure if I can plow through this Wraith with armor, it will open my my Mustangs up to DPS's entire board. I then use intensive training to level the Mustangs to 9. So now they're doing 362 damage a shot at 155 range, and they have 3500 HP, and they have aerial specialization. I go range and speed on the command center. I am not loaning. My opponent gets shields. Big AoE debuff coming down on my team. Looking bad for us. Fire comes down this round as well. Burning away my units. And we get absolutely decimated here. And we still can't out-damage this Wraith on the right. We get absolutely hammered this round. Opponent drills me all the way to 584 HP. More unit enhancements come out. My opponent takes the Abyss. I decide to take the Hounds. I throw the Hounds on the left to deal with this pack of crawlers. And I sell out of one of the Hounds, getting some money back. Opponent decides to go range on the Abyss and upkeep maintenance. I'm going to go for a melting point here to counter this huge Wraith here with the armor and the shields. I'm hoping that the melting point with range can chew through this Wraith and free up my Mustangs to do damage where it's actually useful. Opponent loans. He grabs more Wasps on the back line. Wasps are running ground specialization and jump drive. I decide to recruit this melting point at level 2 with range. And I go for a hacker here as well with range. And I put both of these on the right side. Melting point right behind my tanks. And the hacker on the far right side. All I see are these tanks down here. I didn't realize there was going to be an Abyss. We'll see if that works out for me. There's also a missile to the right of the Abyss for my opponent. And I grab more chaff to help keep damage off my Sabertooth. I also put some crawlers in the front right here to distract my opponent. And luckily I did that because the Abyss shows up here. We get an instant lock on with my melting point to destroy that Wraith. And then the level 9 Mustangs are locked onto this armor Wraith. It's gone. We now lock on to this huge Abyss and it gets annihilated. And we clear the right side pretty quick. We also smash on the left side. And there's nothing my opponent can do except take damage this round. Get both towers. We knock my opponent down to 800 HP. Alright, opponent grabs intensive training, round 10. I grab the power system. So increase the speed of all of my units. I grab Mechanical Rage on the Hounds, but I think I actually undo this because I'm selling out of the Hounds. On the right side, I decide to level up the Hacker because it did get a level this round. There's a level on the Mustangs on the back here as well, and that's a free upgrade because I have the enhancement module. I decided to put down some missile interceptors to help deal with these flaming stormcallers here. I want to keep that fire off of my units. I go range and speed. I'm loaning now because the end is near. We can see it. Trying to figure out what to do here. I decide to undo everything. Intensive training, the hacker. Level up all of the arc lights. I give them elite marksman. I sell out of one of the Hounds. Opponent decides to put Wasp right on the front line here. I grab the defense and attack level 2 from the tower. I grab more chaff. And here we go. Alright. The Mustangs on the left chew through the Wasps. We get a lock on to the 2 Wraiths in the front. The Abyss goes down to the level 9 Mustang. And we absolutely destroy our opponent. He can't stop us. The arc light with the elite marksman, the sledgehammers couldn't stand up to the DPS of the Mustangs, and the melting points taking out his high HP armored targets was just way too overwhelming for him. And we take the win. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. It was a pretty intense game. It was back and forth, and It's not too often I get to get a level 9 unit in a one-on-one, so I thought that was pretty awesome. If you don't mind, check below, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one for some more Mechabellum shenanigans. Thanks for watching. Bye.